Nicki, we know about your business. I'll tell your business too. You see, that's the difference between me and you. You get a lot of money to go do that Queen Radio shit. You ain't even saying nothing. You just having people there just like fucking doing some awkward whine and twerk. Listen, shorty, I know the contract. You got paid $7 million for that Queen Radio shit. Okay, they didn't give you no equity. You was tight. Okay, you felt you deserved more. I mean, I get why you might think you deserve more because reportedly you got closer to $20 million when you were with Apple. But this is Amazon, which Amazon's supposed to have more than Apple, but it's not amping like that. They've offered everybody a contract, including me. I was with Spotify at the time. I told them I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So AMP is like, you know what I mean? Everybody could, you know what I mean? Right now, if I want to get on AMP, they'll give me the check, right? Obviously, you are who you are, so I'm not knocking it, but I get what you're doing. Get what you're doing. And by the way, I'm not even knocking it. Your program is kind of dirt because, you know, I expected some things, as you kept saying you was going to get into some things. You ain't getting into a motherfucking thing. So this is why people are here to watch me now, because I'm going to get into some things. Grandma, you got to get sober. The whole industry called me yesterday. She back on that shit. They're calling you a crackhead. They're calling you... They've called you some of the worst things that... You're the female version of Famous Dex, how they talking to me. I just want to be very clear. Nicki, yesterday was a bad day for you. Bad day. I heard about things I never knew about. How many times you have been crashing out privately that people who cared about you and respected your brand buried videos, paid people off because you're just a wild fucking magnet. You're a druggie. Allegedly. Allegedly. But I'm hearing there's some videos exist. They said your addiction has gone all the way back to when Safari was there. Allegedly, you abusing him, swinging baseball bats, doing this. You got a mountain of that powder on the table. Niggas got to pull cameras out for their own protection. That's interesting. Your own victims is hitting me up. They're like, yo, this remind me of when she did this. Interesting. Now, I'm going to be honest. I was like, what makes y'all think this woman is off that shit? They all looked at me. And by the way, I'm talking about your peers. I'm keeping it all the way 100. And Barb's, fuck off. I don't care about y'all. 30% of them, like, I talked to more than 10 people. 30% of them, they still communicate with Nicki. I don't know their relationship, but they still communicate. The others don't fuck with Nicki at all. So you could take it if you want to. Again, I'm reporting this as what I've heard. So I said, why would you think this woman is back on that stuff? When was she back on that stuff? Now, we got interviews to prove that, but let me show two exhibits really quickly, okay? Let me show this video right here. Oh, this is going to be great. Here we go.
Making calls.
Hold on. Y'all gotta hear it from the front. Here we go.
Making calls and calling shots.
Bow. Hello.
Heavy.
Bow.
Hello.
We here.
My nigga. I said it. Rico, what the fuck is good, Rico? It's the difference between. It's the difference between making calls
and calling shots.
I believe you're going to call the shots.
The world knows calling shots, man. Same news start calling shots, been calling shots.
Tom, did they think I was joking when I said I hold the control like the gamers?
Now, by the way, I'll address. So I had tweeted out Nicki and her goons is up in the studio. I thought they had some type of fire marshal to put a capacity on this bitch. And I seen the barbs that they're really trying to defend her, and they're like, no, they're not goons. No, she said it was New York City rappers. There's 40 niggas in the studio with Nicki Minaj. Let me be clear, and let me now address, and for everybody, there's rappers. You can't name 40 rappers in this video. There's 4 rappers. Jen Carter, Kyle Rich, Busy Banks, Tata. That's about it. The rest of these niggas are goons. I'm sorry to tell you. Now also, since Big Zoo got put on, listen to Nicki, your husband was threatening niggas outside some random place. I figured it out in 20 seconds. I looked at everybody in this room already. I figured out who everybody else is. Big Zoo's best friends are in the room with you. Stop playing. They got nothing to do with music. That's gang shit. That's goons. Stop playing. So all the little barbs could be like, oh no, this all rappers. Ain't 40 rappers up in there. Okay? There's 4 rappers. Actually, 5. 5 rappers. Okay? The rest of these niggas are goons. I'm sorry to tell you. Now, I don't care either here or there because I don't know who Nicki's trying to intimidate with this. Like Nicki, if you're trying to be whatever and catch a Rico, shorty, go ahead and do it. Don't show your goons, have your goons start doing shit for you. Because at this point you're looking like a goofy. Nobody shows their shooters. Niggas usually just get their shooters to shoot. So you're just looking like a 45-year-old woman who seems like she's dying for clout well, not for clout because you do got clout. You're dying for some type of validation, okay? But for the record, for the barbs who was trying to fact check me, and I seen them going so hard on X, it was like, we got a community noted. There's 5 rappers out of 40 niggas in here. Who are the other 35?
I love it.
Okay. So I seen this video, but this video didn't really tell me that I'm fucking stupid in my chat. Nicki Minaj's husband got put on timeout, and all of his gang friends in the same gang. I'm not trying to y'all don't want me to get federal. Y'all know y'all don't want me to get federal. Y'all do know I'm act. Nigga, I saw murders in 20 minutes. What are you talking about? The niggas in the background are in the same gang as her fucking pedophile husband. Why are they there? They have nothing to do with music. Stop it. Y'all niggas be trying to be stupid with me. Now you do have some artists in there that have some of their mans in there, but Nicki's husband got put on timeout, and he got his other homies. His best friend is in the room. I know these things. Just chill the fuck out. Nicki, I got something for you, man, because you wasn't saying shit on that motherfucking, you wasn't saying a motherfucking thing on that Queen radio, but I'll say some shit here. Your salute to 10K. You know I got a contract with 10K, right? You know I have a joint venture label with them, right? Through some digging and backdoor information. Remember when you did that song with 6ix9ine called Trolls? Why is there a line item that, number one, first of all, 6ix9ine had to fly in your whole glam squad via private jet? Right? That was odd. That was kind of odd, right? But also, go back and watch the Trolls video with Nicki Minaj and 6ix9ine. Nicki don't look nothing like that. I seen the invoice, Nicki. They paid like $80,000 to edit your body. This is how insecure you are. So Barbs, I'm telling you this will happen. She could tell me online. Nigga, I know it's a fact. It pays $70,000 to edit that video to make sure you look how you want it to look, because you didn't look like that in real life. You didn't look like that in real life, shorty. They edit every fucking frame of that video to make you look how you want it to look. And I don't care what the excuse is. I don't even care that you did it. I only bring it to crystallize it because it shows the insecurity. My whole point, and you're going to watch how, I'm going to break down not only what she said, but this whole thing. You see, when you have an insecurity, no matter how much we hype you up, like, again, she's the best female rapper of all time. We could say this all over, like, till our face is blue. Doesn't make her happy. She's unhappy with the fact that she's the oldest in the game. She's unhappy with the fact that Father Time has affected her body. She's unhappy with the fact that, hey, because you have decided, which I think is a good thing, to have a family, your body's going through changes, you're unhappy with all these things. These things you choose to take out on other people. I'm just trying to let you know you don't need to be. Now, I understand there's a drug element, okay? And I'm not going to accuse you of necessarily being on drugs because I don't have any proof that you are now. But there's a lot of testimony and a lot of people who are vouching that they believe that you are because your previous actions when you were on that pill or you were on that is kind of coming back to crystallize like you're doing it again. That's the sad part. So I'm not here to shame Nicki Minaj, nor am I here to just go back and forth. By the way, she didn't mention me, truth be told. So really, I have no axe to grind with her, but I do want to make a few things straight. I will not let her play victim any longer. I will have her take accountability for the fuck shit she's done. And, if her fan base or anyone else wants to encourage addiction and a drug habit that is going to the demise of her, fuck it, I don't care. But we're just not going to have lies being propagated. So anyway, I was a little concerned that. Okay, let's get to YouTube. So what was said on Queen Radio? Nicki Minaj. And by the way, I got a challenge for Nicki. Nicki, I got a challenge for you. Because you know what? The Barb's going to say, yo, he's lying. Have Nicki Minaj beg, or no, not beg. Just have Nicki Minaj request that video that I was talking about, the one with her with the baseball bat, chasing Safari, swinging at, busting up cars, this and third, beating him up, got on the table. He's trying to have her ask for that to come out. Have her ask for it. Have her ask for it. Okay? It's been too long since grandma been on that stuff and nobody been saying it at the family reunion. But today's a family reunion. We got to hold her to the table. Baby girl, you're wildin'. Last Thanksgiving, you was rolling up on the table with the stuffing and the turkey legs. Now, you were just doing some dumb shit while Beanie Man is in the background. We got to get you right. They got the videotape on you. They got the videotape. They got the videotape. Now, here's the thing. This is a non-issue, and don't think that I don't hate Nicki like that. Really, it doesn't matter. I'm always in defense mode. I defend my credibility. I defend what I do, and I defend my right to be able to do my job. And if anybody else ever tries to encroach on that, I'm willing to take measures to make sure that's not encroached on. Nicki's a rapper. She's a great rapper. I think her album's probably gonna be good, honestly. I have no problem with that. But when Nicki starts to almost put an idea in the air that everybody, including the likes of me, is just hating on her, I'm not hating on you when I'm speaking facts. And that's why I said the stream should be called, let's call it facts only. If what I ain't saying is a fucking lie, have her request the videos come out. Because I talked to the people with the videos. I said, yo, I was trying to get the video today. I was trying to get the video today. Surprise. Oh, it would have been lit. Nigga, undoubtedly me and Nicki was going to be in court today. Because I would have dropped that video and laughed all over it. But the people who saved your ass back then and throughout the time has saved your ass come up till now, they're not down to throw you under the bus. So this is my way of baiting you out. Come out and tell them, drop the video. I gotta bait you out, girl. Cause I don't know if they still make money. I don't know what it is. Come out and tell them they have nothing to worry about. Okay? Anyway, we should get into some of the Queen Radio stuff. It was kind of hilarious watching. Let me see if I can get to it. This was the live.
It goes here. On a song, and Juice happened to tell me that, because he always told me he used to be a DJ. But then one day, there's no aspect of this that I don't make money from.
Nicki, you got $7 million from AMP, but you got mad because you think. By the way, and I've talked to everybody's manager, Nicki. I've talked to everybody's manager. You're not the reason why YoungBoy's there. You're not the reason why Joe got there. I know you think that the Barbs created everything. No. You, of course, do bring a amazing crowd to AMP, but it's a reason why you don't have equity. I've talked to the people who are in positions of power. You know what they said? We're not treating Nicki like whatever. And by the way, I got the audio if you complained about it. I'm about to show you. You know what their answer to me was when I talked to them? We pay her $7 million. She could buy stock. We're not offering her stock. She could buy it. If you believe in it, buy it. We gave you the equivalent of $7 million. Whatever you wanted. We could have gave you that in straight stock. You wouldn't have wanted that. You wanted cash. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me see if I can find it. Here we go.
With me. And now getting other artists like NBA YoungBoy and all this stuff because of me. Didn't give me equity in it.
That's where you're wrong. They didn't get other artists because of you. They offered everybody a bag. YoungBoy got millions too. He didn't say, oh, Nicki's there, I gotta go there. No.
Didn't give me shit, so fucking talking shit. And all I said was, hey, you guys, now that I see what it is and now that I realize you use me for Hey. Hello? Hey. Fuck. We're on. Fuck. With me. And now getting other artists like NBA YoungBoy and all this stuff because of me. Didn't give me equity in it. Didn't give me shit.
Didn't give me nothing.
So fucking talking shit. And all I said was, hey, you guys, now that I see what it is and now that I realize you use me for Hey.
Again, by the way, I think she's paid handsomely. So there's no shade or nothing like that. She's paid well, like $7 million. That's pretty good. She should be happy. But we're debunking all her fuckery. That's the goal. You see, let me tell you this. Somebody told me this today, and I haven't ever talked to this motherfucker, but somebody says, Ak, so-and-so is bad. So-and-so is really bad. You're terrible. But a nigga who almost competes with you, who probably is even worse, is that gay nigga named Jason Lee. I said, what? I thought about it for a second. I was like, what the fuck going on? Okay, cool. But I learned a lot about Nicki recently. And again, some people are going to think that like this is like a, yo, Nicki, stop playing victim, bro. Your music recently has been kind of cool. I'm not knocking that. I have nothing to hate against you, even though you try to get me fired, which I work for myself. By the way, I'm going to always be on your head top. For you, Barbs, I'm going to always be on Nicki's head top when she called around to other industry niggas thinking she could get me fired. I'm going to always be on her head top. Bitch, don't play with me. But I'm not going to grind that axe every time. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So recently I'm like, I don't know why people are like, now you guys just find out certain shit about her. I've been telling y'all like she's a piece of shit. I guess people are like, oh my God, her husband, blah, blah. Okay, cool, whatever. I just want to correct on certain things she might say that applies to me. If she applies to other people, I don't really give a fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody said, do I hold grudges? I hold grudges nigga. I don't know if y'all believe in astrological symbols. I'm a Taurus. I don't know if Taurus holds grudges, but I hold grudges. Nicki, the moment she made those calls about me, she better not play with me no more. That's factuals.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let it soak in like seasoning.
That's drugs.
First I'd like to say, Barbs, I love you dearly.
Why does the audio sound like this?
I am madly, madly in love with you.
Could y'all hear it right? Maybe I can't hear it right. Let me see if I can find.
Is everyone saying ASMR?
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, never mind, chat. I think it's amp. I think that's how amp sounds when you record it. Because it's really meant as a phone app when you record it, probably like bottom heavy. I'm sorry.
So great. Like that's the only way I can. It is going to be a staple in time as a measure of greatness. Okay. The surprises on there are just epicness as well. And again, I just want to thank you guys, my babies.
Can I ask a question about the album?
Yes, sir, you can.
What's the mood of the album, you feel?
Well, why would I tell that when bitches can't even get a mood of one motherfucking line to pop out their dusty fucking head? Fucking cobweb. Fuck you thought this was.
By the way, for y'all little Barbs, like, listen, man, I'm not trying to put niggas out on Front Street, but y'all do know, I stay on this shit. I'll give y'all one, right? Remember y'all said everybody was rappers? You know who was also in the background? I'll just give y'all one. I'll give y'all one. This person was in the background. Okay. It's already out there. It's the difference between making call and calling shots. Okay. Go to their fucking story. Okay.
What happened?
Okay. Now, let's be clear. Ever since Kenneth Petty got grounded, his main set of goons are with Nicki Minaj. So this is why when y'all say they're all rappers, is he a rapper? Okay, let's see if we can find some supporting evidence. Oh, he's posted this video. Who is this? I think this is the sexual offender. I think this is him back here. I'm not trying to, blow everybody's situation up. But essentially, the point I'm trying to tell you is that Nicki Minaj was in the studio with goons. I don't give a fuck if you talking about there was 4 or 5 rappers in the building. She was in there with her sexual offender husband's top goons. Facts. I'm only talking facts, nigga. I'm only talking facts. I'm only talking facts. I told you, I paused the video 18 times. Everybody in the room, I know their name, address, social security, everything about them, criminal record, everything. I know who they're rocking with. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm obsessive about this shit. I'm sorry. Y'all, I see they try to community note me on Twitter talking about, oh, they were all rappers. Y'all want me to pull up all these niggas and their criminal records? I'll do it. You know I'll do it. You know this is kind of what I do. I'll do it. You realize they don't rap. All they do is roll with Big Zoo. Okay. 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 You don't want me to also break down what gang is all pretty much surrounding this whole thing. Y'all don't want me to see this is a point about Twitter. I always realize they be like, oh no, we got you. The fuck is you talking about? But I digress.
Oh, I don't want to play it through the speakers because the Bobs is very Chad, they been upload their own thing, Chad. So
Okay.
let me
Let's try to get some
I'm
shit.
about to say something. Since my son was born, any and everybody, you better repent. Say your prayers, repent. But it's something about the universe, the way it works, for me anyway. I don't know about how it works for you. Every single human being who played on my time since that moment, pray. We got to pray just to make it today. I say we pray. Hey, pray. Hey. Because what the fuck you won't do is play. With PAPA.
Yo, those sound effects are garbage. By the way, just truthfully, just because I want to let y'all know I'm not hating. I actually think that, if Nicki never wants to do music again, which, by the way, she's phenomenal in music, I think Nicki, of any woman I've ever heard, do radio, I think Nicki could do almost like a, what do you call it again? A Wendy Williams type of thing. Like, Nicki's kind of in that realm. And she's good on radio. I kid you not. The radio show last night was trash, but it's because they do too much sound effects. Sound effects, and she ain't saying nothing. She was eating on the mic. You know what I mean? Clearly, obviously she's off that stuff. So I get it, but
Imagine thinking you
I do think she has talent.
I ain't laughed that long and that hard pause in a long time. Tay, you heard what I say? Hey. Okay. The fact that when I told y'all 2022 wasn't the year to play, and Super Freaky Girl debuted at #1. First female rap song to debut at #1 in 25 years or something like that, Patty? Shout out to Queen Miss Lauryn Hill, Geoff. Oh yeah. Those are the kind of records. But anyway.
Y'all could listen to this shit, man. Let me tell you this, man. It sucks for me hearing an old hag trying to act like she still got it. Let me salute to the actual rappers who are in the building. Busy Banks, what up to you, man? Yo, I've loved your music ever since I discovered you on the song with Pop Smoke. I've listened to you elsewise. I know you got incarcerated but released. I love your music, okay? Kyle Rich, I see you doing your thing. Jen Carter, I see you doing your thing as well. Tata, I see you doing your thing. There's nothing and no shade against you new rappers. And by the way, for all of y'all who were there in the building, if you were rapping, even though I know it was less than 1/4 of the people that were there, this is no shade against y'all, okay? But I do want to talk to Nicki Minaj because make no mistake, Nicki Minaj does nothing to try to really benefit anyone else. It's usually to benefit herself. So as much as, like she said she was trying to give a platform to y'all, but she used y'all really as stand-in goons to make it seem like she ran New York. It's not like she was trying to interview y'all. It's not like she was trying to talk to y'all. And by the way, if it wasn't for people like me, nobody would know that y'all were there. So y'all posted up on your Instagram, but did she say, yo, we got Busy Banks in the building right now? Oh, shit, Jay. No, she did not. So, obviously, you're not going to look a gift horse in its mouth, but make no mistake about it, Nicki Minaj is not for y'all. But this is where I want to give an actual conversation piece when it comes to Nicki. What you're doing and what you're trying to purport comes across as fucking lame. Nicki, everybody, whether they like you or not, they have considered you one of the best female rappers of all time. People regard your skill as just phenomenal. You're making the quintessential mistake. You're thinking that by linking with people who you feel are street people, you could intimidate and bully the game. I want to let people like you know, you see, you're older. You're close to 50. That 40 age that listed on Wikipedia, you're not that. You're like 45. Let's be honest. So you're a little lackadaisical in realizing what's really going on. It's corny for you to be trying to pop out as a gangster right now. It's corny. We get it. You have an insatiable appetite for praise and love, and you always want to be number one. But what you're doing right now, I don't know if anybody is able to tell you, is corny and lame. The Barbers are going to defend you because they've loved you for approaching 2 decades. They're never going to give up on you. But what you're doing is corny and lame. You had the opportunity. I spoke about this multiple times. You had the opportunity to usher in a new generation of female rap. There was a time where only one female rapper at a time could be acknowledged. You succeeded, Lil' Kim, and you became the biggest. You also became the best. But along the road, you lost sight of why you had that position. You weren't trying to campaign for other women to have the title or to be in the running of doing their thing. You always wanted to be you alone. And that's your problem. Right now, female rap is in the best space it's ever been. Yet you can't come out and say that you were even remotely responsible for it. You can't even say that you've helped contributed towards it. Why? When you were the one who held it down solely for like damn near 10 years. How come when we're in a female era, you are not even owed any credit? I'll tell you why. Because you spent 10 years hating on the other girls. You spent every waking moment when another woman got any type of recognition, you spent time shitting on her. You spent time leveraging your celebrity to make sure you didn't work with guys who showed them love. You're a fucking hater. And that's a tough word to accept. Because you're more talented, you're more legendary than any of these other females we talk about. Now you on this arc of being gangster, it's kind of weird. Nicki, I'm going to get into what Jason Lee said. Nicki, when you messaged me talking about your husband needed to see me because he needed to have a stern word with me, I said, this bitch is a clown. Make no mistake about it, Nicki Minaj. Not because your husband got convicted of manslaughter because he murdered somebody. Yes, your husband murdered somebody and also was convicted of raping somebody. Don't think you have some type of crash dummy in your pocket you can intimidate everybody with. We're into this new media age. You did it with Rosenberg and Hot 97. You can't do it again. When you said that to me, I said, this fucking clown is an idiot. I'm going to just expose you. You haven't messaged me back since. Matter of fact, I might even pull up the same DMs. You know, your stupid ass was probably so arrogant, you probably even left the DMs there. I could probably find it right now. I remember everybody was like, yo, you made it up. I mean, at this point, I think everybody knows it was actually real, but I just want to show the type of clown that you are. See this? Barbie. She says, I'll read it. Last time I was in the studio with 6ix9ine, he told me he could tell that you were hoping he was gay in real life and that you try to touch him in that pool. The reason you mad is due to me and him being close. I'll tell you what 6ix9ine told me about you. See that Trolls video? You charged his label like goddamn $250,000 because, bitch, you was insecure. When he was on house arrest and he just got out of jail, you flew there. Locked yourself up in a wing. Nobody saw you for whatever because you had body issues. You had them rent a private jet to go fly your glam squad in. They sent you 15 versions of the song. You were still unhappy. You were a bitch. Not my words, but everybody who worked with you. Oh. That's the words you didn't hear, right? Okay. They all said it. She was a bitch. When we made food for her, we couldn't knock on her door. We had to leave it there and call her. If we knocked on her door, she would come out screaming, threaten to fire us. She treated us like dirt. I've heard the same story about you a million times, Nicki. I've heard the same story about you a million times. Don't let me expose why I've heard that you've allegedly done all them garbage ass songs with Youngboy. And by the way, yes, they're garbage. Let's keep it 100. All them songs with Youngboy, kudos, but none of them shits really hit. You don't really want me to tell why you did that. The real story behind that, because you fell up. You did like 3 trash songs with that nigga because you got. Okay. Ain't that a bitch? Dropped a few lines also dissing that same artist. Let me not talk about that. But the reality is the reality, Nicki. You know, through everything, you think too highly of yourself. No one really hates you. We want you to get help. We want you to get off that stuff. We want you to get off that stuff. We want you to be the rap queen, not the crack queen. We want you to get off that stuff. I'm talking about from your exes to the other street niggas used to protect you back in the day, to the other people who were around you that you used to treat like shit. They've all contacted me. We want you to get off that stuff. This is why today I'm not talking to you how you probably think I would talk to you. Because they have a thing, no. I'm not upset at you. I'm not upset at you. We want you to get off that stuff. Unlike Jason Lee, Nicki, you ain't built for a motherfucking thing because you was panicking up in that spot when Cardi B had pressure on you. Stop it. Yeah, Cardi B left with a knot, but you was panicking. We heard the stories. So we don't care what type of niggas you pop out with. We know you ain't like that. So even when, obviously Jason Lee takes it a little bit more seriously when you're telling him, but you told me the same thing. Yo, you gotta run into my husband, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I took that serious until a judge told him he can't come outside. Whoop-de-do. So, Nicki, I'm trying to extend an olive branch to you, hoping that we don't have to be friends, and we shouldn't. But you could get clean. You could get back to reality. You could understand that while you have this amazing audience that believes everything you say, even the lies, it doesn't mean that you have to go in the wrong direction of fueling your ego and going on these trips where you're drug induced. It doesn't have to be like that. Somebody said, yo, Ak, yeah, all I have to do is stand by a school. Of course. Of course. So, yeah. I'm going to play a little bit of the rest of this, but, you know, I just want to tell, yo, Nicki, let me tell you this, man. You know when you first messaged me, I just want to give you this last message before. I'm going to transition off of this. Again, I respect you for never unsending those messages. Actually, they're sending my message, the thing. I'm going to read what you said. She said, send your Addy and your phone number. Ain't nothing left to talk about. My husband want to speak to you. Fucking clown. Okay. Where was that, Sean? What she said? Oh, this was my favorite part of what you said, Nicki. You know, ever since you said this, I made it my mission to even the score, right? She said, I know too much about your family for you to be playing with me, you hoe-ass rat. Where you at now? I loved when you said that, Nicki, because I made it my mission over the last couple of years to know a little bit about you. And I know a lot about you. I've been able to get individuals who have really damning testimony or stories about how you're some videotapes that you've done a lot to get rid of or allegedly get rid of or suppress. I think I know a little bit more about your family than I think you do about mine. And I'm willing to bet that. Now, granted, I don't think Nicki would call me on any of my bluffs. But I would like to just also just put that out in response to everything she said. Regardless of the fact, man, which I saw yesterday on her live stream, you know, it doesn't really require too much of me really getting that. You know, she spoke indirectly. Cool. I think we should just pray for her, bro. Let's pray for her. And for anyone who does feel threatened, I don't feel threatened by her or Big Zoo. To be honest, to let you know, I don't feel threatened. But not everybody shares my sentiment, okay? Jason Lee's on your ass.
Minaj and her husband should be in prison. They are terrorizing people in the streets. You can't menace people in the streets and participate in RICO activity and think that a nigga not gonna call your car. You try to have DJ Akademiks beat up, allegedly. You've pressed other people about it.
Ain't no allegedly.
And there's a whole interview that somebody did with DJ Vlad where he outlined it. We posted that yesterday. So the receipts are all out there that you have a behavior of doing this. So why aren't you in prison? Why? Because people are afraid to tell on you? I'm not. So the fact that y'all got the mayor of New York looking like a pussy, because you got this whole black man up there trying to make New York better, and y'all...
Actually, let me cut this real quick. Nicki, you like to speak on a lot. Let me throw a couple things in the air that I want you to speak on. This is only from Big Ac. This is an accusation. Nicki Minaj, how about you speak on why Drake didn't talk to you for the longest? How about you speak on your role in the Drake and Meek Mill beef? How you were encouraging Meek at the time to expose Drake, maybe out of jealousy. I don't know, because y'all were on the same label. Y'all were definitely on the same label, right? Why don't you admit that you were trying to expose Drake yourself for ghostwriting, right? When you were his label mate, but you were with Meek. And also, let's talk about, I mean, I've said it before, it's pretty much all documented history. You were one of the major parts in why Quentin Miller got hurt behind this shit. People got punched in the mouth because of you. Because you were fueling on the other side to say, hey, listen, you gonna let this nigga talk about you like that? This nigga not even writing his raps. What you finna do? Again, I've told the story. I think I'm the only one who told the story, but it's his facts. I won't tell you the source, but the source is as close as the source is in the story, or the source is involved in the camps. Remember them tweets from Meek to Drake? When Meek said, yo, I only tweeted this just to show somebody I don't give a fuck. You and Meek supposedly at the Louis Vuitton store. Nigga had like $70K in cash, but what y'all both wanted to buy was a little bit more, and he asked you to cover it, and you gonna tell him? Drake would never ask me to cover it, to pay for no shit at no store. You got him mad. You won't talk about why and how you really contributed to try to take Drake out while you were supposedly his label mate. You won't talk about that. You won't talk about that. Why y'all ain't talk for a couple years? Maybe that was one of the things. I don't know. You should answer it though. I wouldn't talk to you either. If I was calling you sis in all these interviews, then you get a man and you get him jealous at me and also help feed him information to make him feel like I'm not writing my material, then you think he could kill my career because you're also thinking you're competing with me, but I survive. And because your man don't win, you end up in the wins, and then you later come back crawling to me. You came back crawling to Drake. That wasn't forgotten. You know that wasn't forgotten. Let's be honest. You know that wasn't forgotten. You're a snake. You're a snake controlled by dick. We could keep talking about a lot of things too. Let's not forget that in the last 24 hours of you acting up, oh, so many people came and said, yo, oh, she's back using. I said, using what? Blah, 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 da, da, da. I said, what? They said, Ak, you don't know this woman. You ain't never met her. We've been around her. We prevented shit from coming out. We were in the trenches with her. Did you think it was a joke what Gucci Mane tweeted out years ago? Let's see if we can find him. Let me see if I can find him, chat. Y'all remember these tweets? Y'all remember these tweets? Y'all remember these tweets? Little birdie told me, like, it's a little bit more to that. Gucci wasn't losing his mind that much. He just was saying the shit he should have never said. That was a problem. That was interesting. That was interesting. I've learned this in the last 24 hours. You know, you say you learned a lot about my family. I'm learning a lot about you. I'm learning a lot about you. They told me about the demeanor. They said, you know, so-and-so was the bitch who Gucci said jump, she said how high, right? You know I was the bitch that everybody was, know what I mean? Like, I said, excuse me? You know she was off them shits back then, right? Oh. 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 Let me see if I could see if we can find some real. Where is that? That's blurry. Wouldn't it be a bitch if all that shit Gucci was saying here wasn't all cap? Wouldn't that be a bitch? Somebody said, Ack, you ain't saying shit, you insinuating. Yeah, I don't say shit about that, what I don't know. I'm telling you that in the last 24 hours, I've received multiple calls from people who have been close to this person, people who have been bodyguards, people who have been street niggas who have de-escalated situations, and people who have managed, and people who have been in relationships. They've given me a new perspective on some of the information we got before. They told me to go back to this. They said, did you think that was cap? I said, of course, yeah, Gucci was wilding. Okay. 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 Somebody said, look at the spelling, he's drunk. He definitely was off some shit. It's not about if he's under the influences. Did he tell the truth? I'm going to rest my case there, okay? Let me go back to Jason Lee. This is Jason Lee was talking about, all right?
Y'all are basically running around like little kids at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to kill somebody. You went on the internet and said you were planning Offset's funeral, and then people are mad because I'm taking my safety serious? Because I'm taking my safety serious? So what? I could criticize you. I could say Nicki Minaj was fat and then she lost weight and got Ozempic. I could say her man is a rapist and a murderer. He's been locked up for that. He's on the pedophile. He's on the
You know what's crazy? It was today I found out that her husband is actually a killer. Yo, chat, I might have to take back everything I said. So Kenneth Petty, I know the rape thing. Like, apparently he raped some girl with allegedly a weapon, like forcing her to like give up the pussy. Like, you know, he's been through some shit. But Kenneth Petty, manslaughter. If you look that up, look, Nicki Minaj's boyfriend at the time, right? Manslaughter case was cold-blooded. Listen to the details. Nicki Minaj's boyfriend wasn't just convicted of attempted rape. He was also in prison for killing a guy. Now we know the story behind the manslaughter conviction. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that her new man rolled up on Lamont Robinson one early morning in 2002 and opened fire on him on a street corner in Queens. Oh my God, maybe he did run the city. Who were told that he drove to the crime scene with a group of cohorts, probably the same niggas he had in that video threatening Offset, hopped out the car, walked across the street where Robinson was hanging out, pulled out a gun and shot him in the stomach 3 times. Our sources say he then fled in the vehicle with the group. We're told police who investigated the crime at the time did not believe robbery was the motive. They suspected it to be a targeted hit over gang beef. One investigator who was on the OG case told us he could only recall the shooting was over some bullshit. According to court docs, obtained by TMZ, Lamont, who only survived for a short time, right? So I guess the guy who got shot survived, pointed out Nicki Minaj's husband, then died, I guess, who survived for a short time, ID'd Kenny in a photo lineup when police went to question him in the hospital. The docs say he nodded his head to confirm Kenneth had shot him. As he couldn't speak, he died soon afterwards. He was initially charged with second-degree murder, but pled guilty to a lesser charge of first-degree manslaughter. He served 7 years, got released in 2013. As reported, Kenny also did 4 years after being convicted of attempted rape as a 16-year-old about a decade prior. Like we've told you, she isn't fazed by his past. Holy. That's crazy.
registry list. So you can Google her address. It's online. So they live in Calabasas. I got the address. How do I know? Because he's fucking on the registry list. So now you're claiming that Cardi B and other people called the SWAT team. Who got to SWAT you? Anybody could SWAT you. You're on the fucking registry list. And y'all keep trying to say that I got a problem with Nicki Minaj and her husband because of Cardi. Cardi B don't run no fucking thing over here. Cardi B is my friend. I have lots of friends. But that doesn't mean that none of them control me. Nobody fucking controls me. This mouth is not paid for. You cannot pay for my opinion. You cannot pay for my mind. I'm a fucking grown ass nigga from Stockton, bro. So the fact that y'all fans keep saying that I'm paid by Atlantic Records and all this other, you guys are all fucking delusional, like Nicki, like her husband. Her husband for weeks. I've been sitting on that receipt for a minute. Go look at the date. I had it for a while because I knew that this.
Now, let me also interject with this, right? So Nicki Minaj obviously threatened me through her husband and his gang associates. I'm going to be honest with y'all, to be honest. Like, I've been threatened by every rapper in the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's kind of funny when new people threaten me because I'm like, you know, I was like threatened by like the Chicago Killers when I did War in Chirac and they had nothing to live for. Like, I take threats now. I'm like, okay, right? Now, did I think when Nicki was like, my husband wants to come see you, did I think that she was saying her husband's going to kill me? No, I didn't think that, honestly. I thought that she was going to be like, yo, I'm going to get my husband who's probably going to pull up with a bunch of men to come try to beat you up. That's what I would be thinking. Now, granted, let me be clear. You catch me at where I live at or you catch me at my workplace, trust me, I am a licensed concealed carry motherfucker. If I don't got security, listen, I will file the letter of the law. I ain't got time for y'all. But I'm not thinking that, honestly, like he was like, oh, I'm about to shoot you type shit, honestly, to keep it real. I'm like, oh, they might try to jump you, right? It's only since I've heard this Jason Lee motherfucker talk, I'm like, wait, was Nicki really, like, threatening to get her husband to, like, kill me? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Like, she couldn't be that dumb. Ain't no way she's that dumb to DM me, what's your addy? I'm about to sell my husband to come kill you. That sounds ridiculous. I'm thinking to be like, yo, what's your addy? I'm gonna get my husband to pull up with his goonies and they're gonna try to beat you up. That's what I'm thinking, honestly. Until Jason Lee started talking, I'm like, and I talked to some other people that was like, no, allegedly they was trying to do it to Jason Lee. I'm like, maybe I'm taking this shit too lighthearted. Because this whole time when Nicki, again, still got the message. The whole time I took those threats as she gonna try to get her little, her little crash dummy husband to try to come beat me up with his homies. And I'm like, all right, let's see how that worked because you gonna catch me on home turf. And trust me, home turf is gonna be a whole nother conversation. We gonna talk about it. But ever since this thing I've been talking, I'm like, did Nicki really ask me for my address to try to send her pedophile murderer husband to kill me?
This was happening. I knew it was coming. They've been talking shit about killing Cardi, hurting Cardi for months. Did I say anything? No. Did I post anything about the VMAs at first when they were talking about pop, pop, pop and tagging Cardi? No. Why? I even went on my Twitter and said, what Cardi said don't got nothing to do with Nicki. Why? Because I was trying to keep peace in the streets. I want everybody to get along. I want Cardi to be able to celebrate her successes and stop dealing with. I want Offset to stay on a good, positive track and focus on his kids and his new album. I want Nicki to be able to drop Pink Friday and drop more great music. I want.
By the way, also, while I'm saying this, because I always, I hate when the barbs or the delusional people think that this is a Nicki and Cardi situation. Let me tell you this. Ain't no artist bigger than the program. Nigga, to me, the music industry is a program. None of you motherfuckers is bigger than the program. I don't care who it is. Okay? So, sometimes people Cardi could never control me or whatever the case is. And by the way, I hate that I have to just bring up shit she's done just to make that crystallize. I thought when Cardi B allegedly was sending people to go beat up people in clubs, that was lame and corny too. So Cardi B having people go beat up whoever in the club, that's corny as fuck. I don't like that. If you all that gangster, go do it yourself. But you not. You gonna get a bunch of other people. Just like Nicki Minaj is trying to act all tough. You not about to crash out. You about to go get your husband and the other broke niggas around and just try to crash out. So just to be clear, I don't support none of it across the board. This ain't a Nicki thing, really. Nicki is personalized. And if Nicki never, by the way, honestly, truth be told, if Nicki never messaged me these things, right? That's number one. And if Nicki never called Charlamagne talking about where I work at because he's trying to get me fired, I would treat Nicki like any other person. Like, I'd have probably just gave her the Asian doll treatment today. Like, I don't give a fuck about Asian doll. But this person has almost made it personalized to me. So now I got to personalize it to you. Again, I don't support none of y'all artists who think they could just do the beat up culture. That's not popping. That shit is over. That shit is over. Whether Drake, Cardi, Nicki, I don't know who else Meg, none of that shit. Like, that shit's over. But what was just really kind of surprising as I was listening to Jason Lee, it felt like he was trying to say he felt his life was in threat. Anyway, he also continued with...
Truth be told, it's the worst concert I've ever seen, and that's not just because I don't like her. Some people just can't accept the fact that their time is past. And so they're using all these young girls. Nicki, let me just say her name. Fuck all the political. Nicki's using all these young girls to be able to leverage their name because she fell off. Her shit ain't selling the way it used to. TikTok wasn't out when Nicki Minaj was coming up, so her shit was bars, but she had nothing that you could dance to because she didn't dance. I remember I went to her concert years ago. Truth be told, it's the worst concert I've ever seen, and that's not just because I don't like her. It's because her fucking...
I've never been to a Nicki concert.
Shit was like all pink Barbie shit. Like, nobody cares about that but little ass girls and fucking the homosexuals that wear glitter. Nicki Minaj got music that hits and that will go on for a long time, but that time has passed, boo. And now we live in a world, unfortunately, where it's all about TikTok. That's why music is so fucked up right now. And so you're trying to compete with people in the era that's past you, and you just can't let it go. And now you look like that old, miserable auntie at the picnic that can't stop showing her ass off, trying to be young again. You're not. You're not that girl. You're not. You're not. I don't care about Pink Friday. I don't give a fuck about Barbie Dreams. I don't give a fuck about none of that Chun-Li. All that shit's a flop, because you're trying to talk about Winnebagos in the era of Teslas. Sorry, nobody told you that. Because everybody around you is caught up on how good of a lyricist you are. But how many fucking songs do you think these kids are rapping lyrics to? All they do is dancing. TikTok. I'm mad too. I'm just not gonna look dumb like you are because you're fucking up. Truth be
Okay, that's interesting. I feel like I disagreed with him, then I agreed with him at the end. I might have to play a little bit more of what he said. I'm gonna give a honest opinion. Truth be told, I don't think Nicki fell off. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. I just don't think she. It's impossible. Like, remember I had the conversation about is Drake. Like, no matter what Drake drops with For the Dogs, just like no matter what he dropped with, like, Honestly Nevermind, there is no fall off for some of these people. Nicki Minaj, I don't think she could technically fall off. Her fan base is going to be there. I still think she's going to sell close to 200,000 records first week, which is completely dope for a female rapper. It's going to be like one of the best. Like, Nicki's not falling off. Like, I disagree with that. I don't think she's irrelevant. Right? Where I do agree with him, and I guess this was towards the end of his rant, is where he said that the shit has changed. Yes, she's amazing on some lyricism level, but these days, the new youth cares about what makes them dance, what makes them move, and that's probably where Nicki isn't winning at, and maybe she wants to win there. You get what I mean? So I agree there. I'll play it again. I'll pause it this time to tell you which I agree with her, which I don't.
So it's the worst concert I've ever seen, and that's not just because I don't like her. Some people just can't accept the fact that their time is past.
Okay, to be very fair, bro, I'm just not no hater, bro. Like, bro, I flame Nicki when I need to, bro. I've heard about people's concerts. if we, first of all, rap concerts as a whole are garbage. Okay? You're not going to tell me that Nicki's concerts are trash, but Future's are lit. I'm sorry to tell you. There's just not much of a difference. I'm sorry to tell you. So, I don't think her concerts are garbage. And by the way, you shouldn't go to a Nicki concert if you don't like her fucking music. So, I'm disagreeing with that. I'll disagree with that.
And so they're using all these young girls. Nicki, let me just hear her name. Fuck all the political. Nicki's using all these young girls to be able to leverage their name because she fell off.
Okay, I disagree with that too. Jason Lee, and by the way, I want you on my podcast. I think we could, definitely debate a lot of these things. I don't think Nicki fell off. I think Nicki's still more lit than the majority, not every. Who would we say is the most lit female rapper right now? Yeah, I might say Ice Spice. Ice Spice is lit socially. Nicki is lit for music. Nobody's more lit for music than Nicki Minaj. Let's just be clear. Like, socially wise, it's all about lifestyle. It's about who could dance better, who could tell more jokes, who could kind of like, who's sexier. Cool. Music wise, ain't nobody more lit than Nicki as a female. Let's be honest. Come on. Like, I'm not a hater, bro. So that's where I disagree with Jason Lee. She did not fall off. Now, is she leveraging the young girls? Like, for example, Ice Spice? Yes. But here's the thing. I would be a hypocrite to say that's wrong. I would be a hypocrite. Nicki's supposed to leverage these young girls. Drake is leveraging new artists. Actually, what I've been saying for the longest, Nicki should have treated the game because Nicki is seen more of an influence to female rap than Drake is seen to male rap. Nicki should have been start putting these bitches in strollers and really take her credit. And yeah, again, I can't talk out both sides of my mouth. If I'm saying Nicki's causing all the beef with everybody, if she decides to be friends with Ice Spice, I can't be like, oh, Nicki's trying to use her. What do you want? See, that's a hypocrite. No, I think it's good. What Nicki and Ice Spice got is amazing. It's good. They're supposed to be friends. I think Nicki, all these bitches, they all look up to Nicki. Nicki should really baby all of them and fucking have them sing her praises. The only thing is she got to let go of that mindset. It's like Wayne when Wayne passed the ball to motherfucking Drake. Yeah, he was still doing his thing, and of course he's always competitive, but he wasn't like, oh shit, I got to make sure Drake don't get number one. That's what I think Nicki's problem with it. Just to be honest. You get what I mean? Her, her and Ice Spice, does it help her? Yes. But does it help Ice Spice? Fuck yes. Yo, if you want to say just on a youth-wise, Ice Spice helped Nicki, on an industry level and career-wise, Nicki helped Ice Spice. I got to be honest.
Her shit ain't selling the way it used to. TikTok wasn't out when
this is where I gotta pause with Jason Lee as well. Nicki shit ain't selling. I'm sorry, these stand barbs, they always do an amazing job of Nicki's always top 15. Granted, I think sometimes we think she should always be top 5, but no matter what Nicki drops, the barbs gonna support. They support everything. So it's hard for me to say she just fell off.
Nicki Minaj was coming up, so her shit was bars, but she had nothing that you could dance to because she didn't dance.
I agree with that. Nicki's thing has always been about what she's saying more than a Sierra type thing or a Tinashe type thing, which is oh, we're dancing, and those are more choreographed type situations. But these days, and this is what I'm agreeing with Jason Lee, is that it's all about energy. It's all about these little simple dances. That's more important than actually the lyrics associated with it, right? These days, it's simple lyrics with more complicated dance, if anything.
I remember I went to her concert years ago. Truth be told, it's the worst concert I've ever seen. And that's not just because I don't like her. It's because her fucking shit was all pink Barbie shit. Nobody cares about that but little ass girls and fucking the homosexuals that wear glitter. Nicki Minaj got music that hits and that will go on for a long time. But that time has passed, boo. And now we live in a world, unfortunately.
Okay, I agree. Nicki's time in terms of the youth, and I think this is where Nicki loses. Nicki, you trying to consistently sexualize yourself, you look old. You're 50. I'm sorry to say, I don't care. Your BBL, first of all, when you sit, your BBL look like it's a fucking alien life form sitting on your body. It doesn't look attractive. You're not of course infinitely more talented than a Ruby Rose, but Ruby Rose looks sexy. She could twerk and we want to just watch it. Now we won't listen to a song by her, but we'll watch her twerk. Same with Ice Spice, right? Obviously with Ice Spice we'll listen to a song, but still, that's not your thing. And I see her constantly trying to dance and do these other things. That's just not her thing. But because that's not her thing doesn't mean she has to go wither and die, right? Like, look at Drake. There's a lot of things that's not Drake thing, but like Drake is still surviving. You know, just because she's not appealing to the younger females in the game, I don't think we should just shame her into just going away and quitting. Because look at rap. Bro, all of our favorite rappers are like 30-something plus. You know Young Thug is 30, right? Yeah, I can't wait for Slime to get out, right? All these things is 30. Lil Durk is 30, right? You know Future's 30, right? Like, they're all 30, right? So, again, I won't shame Nicki like, oh, okay, your time is over, just give it up. I think she just needs to be graceful with it, right? Like, if you know, I think the most criticism Drake ever got was that right foot up, left foot, because it felt like he was kind of like playing into that TikTok shit. But if he makes music that people could respect on, it doesn't have to be necessarily age appropriate, but it feels like natural, people will be cool with. Nicki, you don't got to be the fucking queen of TikTok. Just do what you do and they'll adapt to that. You're a big enough star.
Where it's all about TikTok.
Somebody said Future is 40. Is he? Future rapper age. Let me see. Oh my God. Yo, Future is... Oh my God, in 27 days, Future is 40. Holy shit. Lil Wayne is 40. Drake is turning 37. When is Drake turning 37? He's turning 37 in oh my God, like literally like less than a month. Wow, all of our heroes are 30 plus. Young Thug is 32. Shit.
That's why music is so fucked up right now. And so you're trying to compete with people in the era that's past you, and you just can't let it go. And now you look like that old, miserable auntie
I agree with that a little bit. I don't know if she means to be or if she's trolling. I just feel like she could look so dope if she cared about how she put herself out there. But I do believe that Nicki, you know, what one person yesterday called me, it's a rapper who called me. They said, bruh, we've been knowing Nicki since like 2008. They said Nicki always been that bird bitch in the studio, my nigga. She's a bird. That's exactly what I'm quoting directly. They said, bruh, I know you feel like she should be doing all this queen shit, but she's a bird, nigga. It's a reason why she married the nigga who she married. The shit she likes is bird shit. So, you know, I guess like maybe for me, I'm looking at it like, oh no, she's gonna elevate her actions and kind of look, you know, really eloquent. But people are like, no, nigga, this is who she is. So I don't know. This is what they told me, bro. I swear. It's a rapper. By the way, the nigga who told me he got multiple songs with her. He says, Nicki been a bird since like 2008, nigga. That's what the nigga literally called her a bird. Okay. All right. Cool. Is this Asian though? Oh, I can't even tell these bitches are like different now. Okay, so he said this and said this. Let's go back to Queen Radio.
Wait, hold on. Let me get back to where I was at. Hold on. Hold on. Reverse. Draw 4 reverse. Uno.
By the way, nobody, thank you for the $5 donation. And by the way, for anybody who sent in donations via Rumble Rants or even via Twitch, I appreciate you too. I'm gonna read what I said in a second.
Oh, bitch. Mayday, 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 mayday. My home was surrounded by guns. Not once, but twice. And you mean to tell me that person has evaporated into thin air? No. You see, I like a good joke and a good laugh, but when it comes to my child,
This is the hypocritical part of everything what Nicki's saying. So she's talking about her house being swatted twice by some random stranger, even though she's kind of trying to almost allude that she thinks her ops, quote unquote, in the music industry is doing it. What does that mean? She probably is, like, in a roundabout way, probably accusing Cardi of swatting her house, right? The only part about that is that this whole stream, she talked about her having goons, her having hitters, her making calls and calling shots. Yet she's now talking about my child. Like, you know, I've like, how do you balance between being a gangster and also being a parent? Because if you were that careful of being a parent, some of these things you wouldn't even invite or even talk about. But now you've went from, oh, you got the goons, you could call shots, and then now you're talking about a different story where you're saying my child.
imagine, child. Let me tell you something. A waste of money, bitch. Hold on, let me see something. Okay. All right, we're back. So you guys, how's everyone?
So chat, I know y'all might think that I'm like skipping around or I've edited this. I'm playing this in full. Obviously it's taking out all the music, right? That could like be copywritten. So they're only showing when she's talking on the mic. And what you're hearing is Nicki Minaj, which over the last 4 to 5 minutes has struggled to make a sentence. Now, I'm telling you that I got multiple calls that she's back on the stuff. She's back, you know, and this is the worst part about her fan base, because they support everything she does. They don't have a wherewithal to be like, yo, we love her, but maybe she needs a little help and we need to encourage her. You get what I mean? And I think that's the dangerous part about it, right?